So, did you know I used to work in online gambling? I know it sounds shocking. And if you told me 5 years ago that I'd end up running a division of a legal online gambling company, I would have laughed out loud. I've never been a card shark. I still don't fully understand Texas Hold'em or even understand sports betting odds. And I know that I've mentioned my online gambling portion of my life in some of my prior episodes, but I want to dive in a little bit more deeply into how that happened, why that happened, and what I learned from it. This unexpected detour into online gambling actually ended up turning into one of the most valuable chapters of my career. And today I want to share how it happened, what it taught me, and why careers don't have to make sense to anyone other than you. I'm Amber Hoffman, and on this channel, I talk about my unpredictable career path that took me from corporate tax law to travel blogging to owning a window coverings company and with a little detour to online gambling to show you that being a generalist can actually be a superpower. So let me take you back to early 2020. I was living in Girona, Spain when COVID hit. Our goal was actually to move out of our apartment in Girona, travel for 6 months, and then ultimately move to Sevilla in southern Spain. When COVID hit, it hit Spain hardest, earliest. Spain and Italy were the two countries where it really sort of took off in Europe and even before it hit North America. Spain had some of the hardest lockdowns in the world at that time. We lived in a tiny little apartment. We weren't even allowed outside to exercise. We had no outdoor space. And for weeks that started to turn into months, we were confined to this small apartment, basically watching the world shut down. Until then, my husband Eric and I had supported ourselves through our travel blog. And for over a decade, that blog had covered our expenses, let us live abroad, and gave us the freedom to travel the world. But when borders closed and planes were grounded, one thing became very clear. There wasn't going to be much travel happening, which meant almost overnight, 80% of our website traffic and our income disappeared. In that moment of uncertainty, I did what I've done always while trying to reinvent myself. I just tried to consider what my possibilities were. I looked at various ways to make money online. I looked at blogging for the law. I looked at consulting with a legal marketing firm. We launched a variety of websites under various domains, trying to figure out what might work, not knowing how long the travel blogging world and the travel world would be shut down. And then I found a small freelance gig on Upwork, about 15 hours a week, editing website content. It wasn't glamorous and it wasn't exactly aligned with my resume, but it was a start and gave me at least a little bit of that financial security. Very quickly, it turned into more. I built trust with the founder. I helped streamline processes, refine content strategy, and bring more structure to his business. That 15-hour-a-week gig or side hustle grew and grew until I was essentially helping him run the company. Eventually, that founder sold his company to a larger one. And instead of that being the end of the road, it opened a new door for me. The acquiring company brought me on board. I was essentially sold alongside the company as a key employee. And for about 18 months, I found myself running a division inside a business that specialized in legal online gambling, sports betting, all through SEO and affiliate marketing. Now, let me be clear. I was not the gambling expert. Everyone at the company became psyched around football season, and I couldn't care less. But I didn't need to, because what I did understand were websites, SEO, content, and most importantly, how to hire, build, and manage a team. Even in a fully remote environment, I could put the right people in the right seats, set up systems, and keep operations in our division running smoothly. And those skills mattered just as much as knowing how to calculate betting odds. In the end, plenty of people at the company understood online gambling and sports betting. I personally didn't need to. I only needed to know enough to do my job. And as legal online gambling expanded through the US, I did get to wear my lawyer hat once in a while. I was able to read rules, regulations, legislation that was driving the industry forward. In my prior life as a tax attorney, I learned a lot about different technology. As part of my tax controversy role, I learned about pacemakers, air defense systems, private jets, hard drives, laptops, and complicated financial products. Why couldn't I learn gambling and sports betting enough to do my job? That chapter in my life lasted about 3 years, and it taught me something huge. Adaptability matters more than industry knowledge. If you're willing to learn, if you're curious, if you can manage people and processes, those are transferable skills and they will take you places that you never imagined. I never thought online gambling would be my niche for a handful of years. But what that role gave me was confidence in my ability to step into completely foreign territory and a completely new industry and succeed. And that's the heart of being a generalist, even though I didn't even know that word existed a couple weeks ago. It's not about mastering one lane. It's about being able to adapt, apply what you know, and figure out the rest as you go. I've been sometimes jealous of the travel and food blogging friends that we made that are still around and able to make a living either directly or indirectly from their website and their travels, even in this AI world. Some bloggers sold their sites, we did, or they were forced to shut them down. It hasn't been easy in this industry with AI. And there are days where I feel like my pivot from blogging to gambling to home services meant I failed as a travel blogger. But then there are days when I know I made a good living the last handful of years, taking the skills I learned from blogging and transforming them into other roles. That increased our financial security as well during those years, and that meant the world to us. So, did I ever plan on working in online gambling? Absolutely not. Do I still laugh out loud when I say it out loud? Am I sometimes hesitant to even tell people I worked in online gambling? But it was also a reminder that our careers don't have to make sense to anyone else other than ourselves. They don't even have to follow a straight line. Each unexpected detour is a chance to grow, to test yourself, and to carry new skills into whatever comes next. So if you find yourself on a path that doesn't look like what you pictured, don't panic and don't discount it. It might just be the unexpected detour that teaches you the most. And for me, that detour just happened to be online gambling. It gave me an opportunity to be a professional in some way, shape, or form again. It gave me the opportunity to learn new skills, learn a new industry, work with a founder who taught me a lot about entrepreneurship. And it also gave me the opportunity to stretch my muscles when it came to building and growing online teams. So, if these stories of career transitions and life transitions resonate, hit the subscribe button because I have so many more stories to tell. Have you ever taken a very unexpected detour on purpose or because you had to? Share that story below. I'm curious to hear.